Hello, 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 sellers. Come on in. Come on in. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling on eBay. So, first, happy St. Patrick's Day. Of course, we're going to be talking about the green, bringing more green your way on eBay. So, I've got my St. Patrick's Day here. I'm wearing green. I'm thinking green. And so, we're going to be talking green. So, come on in. Come on in. Let me know that you can hear me. Those of you joining me on my Facebook business page, I love to be selling. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I so appreciate it. And if you're catching me on my YouTube, be sure to click subscribe. And I'm Kathy Terrell. I love to be selling there. And also on my podcast, Kathy Terrell, I love to be selling. Thank you for all the downloads, you guys. I really appreciate it. So what I want to talk about is things that are actually going to stop the green, because we're talking green, stop the green from coming your way. And we don't want to stop the green. Hi, Vicki. Always good to see you. So let's talk about don't believe these two myths about selling on eBay. Two. There's a bunch, but we're going to talk about two. And two big ones. And I've seen them several times in groups. And it's like, no. Don't believe this. This is such nonsense. And people will buy into it. Hi, Melissa. Good to see you. So number one, I hate it when I see this one. You're welcome, Vicki, which is when you get a sale from somebody with one or two or very few feedback, but particularly when it's just one, that they are a scammer. Okay. And I see this a lot when people are talking to new sellers to warn them, be careful, or don't accept offers from buyers that only have one feedback. Why? It's a buyer. Do you know how hard eBay is working? If you attend the seller check-ins, and Melissa, I think you were there. Vicki, let me know if you were there. eBay works very, very hard to get us buyers. They're working very hard to get us buyers and new buyers. So yes, it's great. We want our regulars, and we love repeat buyers. Hi, Marianne, how are you? We love repeat buyers, right? But eBay's working really hard to bring us new buyers, people that might be on other websites. They're like, come check out eBay, because that way you can shop with Vicki and with Melissa and with Marianne. Good, Melissa, so that you know what I'm talking about. So one of the things they talked about in check-in was influencer campaigns. And if you're not aware of this, you'll see it more on Instagram and TikTok, which is sort of young, hip, cool, particularly in the fashion category, recommending, hey, look at this cool thing I got on eBay. Hey, look at this cool thing I got on eBay. Well, why are they doing that? Because they know these people have a large following on social media, and they're showing them the cool stuff, which Melissa and Vicki and Kathy and Marianne sell on eBay. And come on over and shop with us, which means you're going to be getting some buyers with one feedback or two feedback. This is good. This means they're new. So for my newer sellers in particular, when you see people saying, they're all scammers, they're terrible. No, they're not. I shop on eBay. You guys let me know if you shop on eBay. At one point, if you're new to shopping on eBay, you will have no feedback. You will have one feedback. You will have feedback. You will be a new shopper on eBay. And if anything, particularly when I see that, that I'm like their first purchase, I feel so honored. I love it. I'll oftentimes tuck a little note. Welcome to eBay. Welcome to eBay. I'm so glad you're here. Right? It's like, welcome them. We want them to be happy. We want them to come back. We want all our shoppers to be happy. We want all our shoppers to come back. But particularly for my newbies, it's like, welcome, welcome, welcome. So my new sellers, if you see that, no, they had to register an account with eBay. They had to give eBay their information. eBay has financial information on them. Either it's a credit card or a checking account. But take it. It's a sale. It's like, don't let people scare you out of that. Really. Okay. And sadly, and this is not what the YouTube's going to be about. I'll do another YouTube on this. when you run into difficult buyers or challenging buyers, which I know Melissa and Vicky and none of us, and Marianne, we've never run into challenging buyers ever on eBay. Trust me, they're not just people with low feedback. You get plenty of people with a lot of feedback. And sometimes the most challenging buyers will be fellow sellers. Because you'll click over to their account and you're like, this person is a seller. Why are they being so difficult? So I'm telling you, no. Huge myth. Huge myth. I see people on YouTube saying this. I see it in groups, people saying this about never take a sale, never take an offer from somebody, with under 5 feedback or 10 feedback or 15 feedback. And I'm here to tell you, no, take it. Okay. And welcome them in and enjoy it. And let's turn that person into a repeat buyer. So they'll shop with Vicky, and then they'll shop with Melissa, and then they'll shop with me, and then they'll shop with Marianne. Okay. Melissa said one of my best sales was for a charity auction. They were under 10 feedback. Awesome experience. Okay. So let's turn our newbies into repeat buyers. And for my new sellers, please, 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 please do not be, no. Don't be listening to those people that tell you to not sell to people with only, a certain number of feedback. It's just not true. Okay. So let's bust that myth. Okay. And you're losing a sale. That's more important because we're talking about green, right? So I don't want you losing any sales. So take the sale. Okay. Next big myth that I've been seeing a lot lately, this one keeps popping up. It sort of goes in cycles. So urban myth 2 for eBay is you must list a certain amount every day to get sales. Okay. Not true. Now, do you want to list? Yes, because if it's not listed, remember the adage, if it's not listed, it won't sell. Okay. But if you regularly list, and that's going to vary depending if you're one of my part-time sellers or a full-time seller. Like when I was taking care of my mom, when I first started selling on eBay, regular for me, honestly, was listing maybe 2 or 3 things a week. I mean, I was doing good with that, with getting things shipped, because that was back in the days, particularly if you shipped international, you had to stand online with customs forms. Anybody remember that? That was fun, right? Is for me being regular would be a few a week. Okay. So yes, you do want to list regularly. Why? Because if it's not listed, it can't sell. It's activity on your account. The more that's listed, it's more of an opportunity to bring people to your listings because they're coming in and they're looking at the Shamrock headband, and then they pop over to the pen, and then they're looking at the notebook. Okay. But do you have to list daily to get daily sales? No. Do you want to list regularly? Yes. And then people will come up with these magic numbers. And I know some people are very well respected in the community, so this is not about bashing people. And realize too, when people are sharing things on YouTubes and podcasts, they are sharing their experience. And you always want to, when you're listening to them, if they don't say what they sell, you want to ask them what they sell. Because let's say they sell health and beauty. Let's say they sell a lot of makeup. So for them, they need to have X amount of listings. Let's say 50 listings, 100 listings, 200 listings up to regularly get sales. Or they're a full-time seller, and so they need to have at least 3 or 4 or 500 listings up to get sales. But let me tell you something about full-time selling. So it was I think it was like business and industrial. So it was like clips and straps and sort of like automotive accessory kind of things. And this seller had thousands of listings up. We're talking like 8, 9, 10,000 listings up. And they would go through periods of not getting sales for several days. So it's not a numbers game. Okay. Now, is for somebody like that, if they've got that many listings up and they're not seeing steady sales, because that's a lot of listings. Okay. Then you go and look at your competitors. are you priced competitively? Because in a category like that, you've got competition, as opposed to like Melissa, who does beautiful handcrafted artisan items, and her stuff's very, very, very unique. So it's not the same as selling like automotive parts, okay? Or for used women's clothing, you have to look at comparable brands, comparable prices, and just see how stuff is selling. But it's much more important. So back to my business and industrial seller, that when you're putting a listing up, whether it's for clothing, whether it's for jewelry, whether it's for a puzzle, whether it's for a beautiful plushie or a pair of shoes or a beautiful bracelet, is you just do a little bit of time. And please watch the clock. Where's my little clock? Everybody, for people follow me, know that I have my little clock. Even though my computer has a clock, I keep a clock on my right in front of me. So it's like, Catherine, don't go down that rabbit hole. Is to keep an eye on the clock and do a little bit of work on your keywords. Okay, that's your title. And then you're also going to have your keywords in your description. Yes, you want to pay attention to your picture because that helps to bring you shoppers. But the keywords in your title and in your description are very, very important, particularly your title, because it is fed to eBay search. Okay, we've always known that our item specifics are fed to eBay search, but our titles are also fed to eBay search. So in using really good terms in the title, and that it's terms that buyers use, right? It's not just terms that Kathy uses. Like Melissa and I, if we're talking seller talk, so it's not like seller talk keywords. It's keywords in the title that if somebody's searching for the green top, right? Like for instance, if I was listing something green and I was listing it a month or two ago, there's a very good chance I would have included St. Patrick's Day in the title because it's a green item. And at least here in New York, and I'm sure where you are too, yes, people are wearing things that say Irish, Ireland. I was seeing that a lot today, like rugby shirts with Ireland. But I was also just seeing a lot of green hats, green scarves, green shirts. So it can be a great keyword leading into St. Patrick's Day. Okay. So your keywords really, really matter. So yes, you want to list. Yes, you want to list regularly. I personally do not subscribe to magic numbers. I know people that make very nice incomes on eBay with a couple of hundred listings up because their margins are very good. They buy very, very low for the antique collectibles they're selling. They're able to sell very, very high. I know other people like business and industrial where they're not making that much money on each sale, and it's a numbers game for them. What I used to call like the Walmart approach, right? So they're not making a ton on each item. They're going for bulk, like a Costco, okay? And you just got to think about what kind of seller are you? And you most likely a mix. Some things you have really huge margins. You're like, yay. And then some things, it's not that much money, but it was an easy thing to list, or it was something that you got for free, or something that you really, really like. So you're good about a lower margin, okay? So myth busting, okay? Welcome our new buyers. eBay's working so hard to get them. You know, welcome, welcome, welcome. And put a little extra note is not a bad thing. And really watch your keywords on your listings. Again, I see this magic number thing. You know, you've got to list 5 a day. You got to list 10 a day. You got to list 20 a day. You know, you have to have 100 listings up. You have to have 3. You know, you're not a full-time seller until you have 400 listings up. I just don't find that's true. I see people that struggle, and they have several thousand listings up. And some of the issue can be is they just need to slow up a little bit and really look at their prices. And they need to really look at their keywords, because the keywords are the food, right? They're the breadcrumbs. They're the food for eBay's search engine. And it's also the food that eBay is feeding to Google search, okay? It's really, really going to help you. I have a terrific guide to help you with keywords. Keywords happens to be a favorite topic of mine. I've been studying it for years, and so I've got this guide for you. It's Keyword Domination to Explode eBay Sales, and I just updated it. It's on my website. Excuse me. It's half off just for a couple of days, so you want to grab it while it's half off. And what it is it'll explain to you what keywords are, why they are so important. If you've been selling for a while, no, they weren't emphasized as much 7 or 8 years ago. It is something more modern. They came in when structured data came onto the platform for formatting our eBay listings. It is really, really crucial for your items to be found by your buyers and for eBay search to understand what you're selling so that you're going to rank well in search. So grab it while it's half off. Keyword domination to explode eBay sales. You'll see it right on my website. I love to be selling, and literally people, and I've got glossaries in there with keywords to help you to get the keyword juices going. And because in the check-in, I noticed a lot of people really interested in AI, artificial intelligence. I've included information, drum roll, on using artificial intelligence and free tools to generate keywords. So literally in a matter of a couple of seconds, you can have some great, great keywords for your eBay listing. So grab the guide while it's half off, Keyword Domination to Explode eBay Sales. And let's bring lots of green your way. Again, happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling on eBay. Bye-bye, everybody.